I am a professional nutritionist that's helped thousands of women melt their body fat without counting calories or taking supplements. I'm a published author. I've been featured in celebrity news, and I've been doing this since 2008 was when I first started health coaching, but working with women specifically. I started a program in 2014 to help my wife lose 60 pounds, and we managed to do that in 2 months as a byproduct of better digestive and hormonal health. And she's managed to keep off that 60-pound weight loss for over 10 years now. And I have a crap load of questions from my free group, so I am going to have a crap load of answers. So if you aren't already, please join the group. If you want your questions answered, I put the link right underneath here. It's called Becoming Happier, Healthier, and More Hormonally Balanced. I can't make it a public group. It has to stay private because I made it private at one point and now I can't undo it. But there is a post in that group where I ask everyone to submit their questions so I could answer whatever questions you got. The very first question is, how do you get rid of belly fat? This is a question from Helen, and that is a great question because what most women go wrong with when they're trying to lose weight is that they will create something called hormonal stress. And that makes it feel like it's impossible to lose weight. The easy way to lose weight should be the only way you try to lose weight. I want to repeat that. I wish I could shake you and just get this into your brain. The easy way to lose weight is the only way you should ever lose weight, because then it's going to be easy to maintain the weight loss. What's the point of losing weight if you gain it back? There is no point. You got to do it the easy way. So what's the easy way to lose belly fat specifically? You want to find what works, and then you want to slowly turn it like a knob. And that is what will allow you to continue to burn that belly fat. What will happen is if you notice something that works, you won't know if you're successful because of something or in spite of something. And where many women go wrong when they're trying to melt their belly fat is they will make too many changes all at once. You will start walking 10,000 steps a day. Plus, you're going to eat nothing but salads. And then you are going to be journaling. And then you are going to be trying to get red light therapy. And then you're taking this supplement. And you're taking that routine. And you're eating salt. Whatever might be going on. You're doing too many changes all at once. When in reality, out of all of the clients that I've helped lose over 50 pounds, and all of the clients that have lost over 100 pounds inside of my program, not a single one had more than 10 changes total. Let that sink in. I have never worked with a client that had to change more than 10 things to lose all of her body fat. 100% of it. Never. Never have I ever had a woman need to change more than 10 things. Because once you find what works, you just slowly increase it. Example, one of our clients in our program, she started out with walking 500 steps a day when she first started our program, and she noticed that worked. So she gradually increased how many steps she was doing inside of the program in order to increase the weight loss. Over the course of a year, she went from 500 steps a day to 10,000 steps a day. At no point did she add hormonal stress to her life. And what happens? She just continued to lose weight. She lost 92 pounds her first year in the program. How is that possible? Because she never went extreme with anything. Imagine like you join a normal program and they say, start walking 10,000 steps, start eating nothing but chicken and broccoli, start doing these things. You won't know if you're successful because of something or in spite of something. You want to make one change at a time, see if it works, and if it works, keep doing that. And if it doesn't work, stop doing that, try something else. So that's how you lose belly fat, is the slow way. Find what works, slowly turn the knob. It could be steps, it could be through your diet, it could be through a sleep routine, it could be through journaling, it could be through planning, it could be through better hormonal balance, it could be through sunshine. There's so many different things that could play into it. You just find what works and you do more of that. You don't add anything else, because the easy way to lose weight is the only way you should lose weight. Next, what is the best way to get back on track if a vacation took you off your normal eating? This is what Rita asked. Great question, Rita. Once again, these are all from my free group that you should join. If you want your questions answered, join my free group. I can't respond to comments like on my Facebook and my Instagram. I am so restricted. Like my Facebook and Instagram have been deleted multiple times. Like I would love to say I can respond to comments. I can literally respond to 4 comments per day. And I get literally thousands of comments. So I can see it. I can read it, but I can only respond to you if you send me a direct message. So you have to message me first in order to get a reply. But what do you want to do if you want to get back on track after a vacation and back into your normal eating routine? That is a really good question. The first thing that you want to do is you want to focus on what was working before, and then you immediately want to start implementing that, and just realize that time takes time in order to take it off. What you shouldn't do is do something more extreme when you come back in order to like make up for it, because that's going to add hormonal stress to your life. If you add that stress, it's going to feel like it's impossible to lose weight. Like, what you don't want to do is go on vacation and then starve yourself, right after in order to make up for it. It doesn't work like that. Just think of it this way. If you went on vacation, let's say you went on vacation for a weekend, and then you came back and you've gained 4 pounds. Do you really think that on that weekend trip, you ate an extra 14,000 calories and gained 4 pounds of body fat? Or, hear me out, do you think it's some type of inflammation or cellular fire problem? It's definitely one of those. Why? Because you can't gain that much body fat that fast. You did not accidentally eat 14,000 extra calories to gain 4 pounds. So just realize it's inflammation. So if you want to take off the inflammation, you go right back to that anti-inflammatory diet that you were eating before. The thing that was helping you take the weight off before is what's going to help you again. So first of all, go back to that. If you want to be more aggressive with it, and you truly want to get back to where you were at, you just turn that knob on what was working before. If an anti-inflammatory diet worked, do more of that. And that will help get you to where you want to be. So there's lots of different things you do for that. I have an entire anti-inflammatory protocol on my profile. You can check that out, or you can send me a direct message and say PDF, and I can message it to you. Once again, leaving a comment does nothing because I can't reply to comments. But if you want to click this link, that will open up my Facebook Messenger. You can, forgot to add it here. Let me add that link there. Done. So what you want to do is you just want to click my name, go to send message, and then you want to directly go straight here. So it'll pop up on the screen right now. If you click that, that will open up Facebook Messenger, and you can go straight to my profile, and you go there. Or just click my name, click send message, and you can do it. And I'll put a link right after this live stream so you know how to do it. But once again, all of these questions are from the free group. Please join the free group. Next, I am older, and I am on hormonal medications. And I'm looking to take off inflammation. What should I do? Any suggestions? Yes, if you want to balance your hormones naturally, what is most important for women, especially after they have gone through menopause, or ones that have some type of genetic thing going on where your hormones are going to get messed up, is you want to create a very consistent routine, specifically around getting sunshine in the morning, around having something to look forward to during the day, around strategically using your stimulants, and around a bedtime routine, something called the closing doors bedtime routine. Just be really, really consistent with those 4, and that will lead to 90% of your hormonal balance. That's exactly what we teach the women in our program. We've seen phenomenal results with that. So very, 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 very consistent routine around sunshine, around metabolizing cortisol, around getting something to look forward to every day, because that will give you energy producing hormones, and then making sure that you have a bedtime routine. Those are key. Those are absolutely key. Next, this one says, I watched one video that mentioned frozen fruit is not good for us. I'm curious as to why, if harvested at their peak freshness. Also, is it that it's has some preservatives? I tend not to buy fruits and then eat them in a timely fashion. So, Kimberly, this is a great question. So we run our own studies inside of our program. So I've been running my program forever. And one of the benefits of having thousands of clients throughout the years is that my degree is in applied health sciences, and we just run our own studies. So in order to make sure that we can actually help a specific type of woman, in order to join my program, you need to be in perimenopause or menopause, because we want to balance your hormones naturally. And if your hormones are already balanced, like, we're not the right thing. We specifically help women that have like constipation and hormonal issues lose weight. That's it. That's all we do. That's all we'll ever do, because that's what my wife had to deal with. So in order to do that, we just double down on what that is. That being said, we ran a study inside of my program where we try to compare fresh fruit to frozen fruit to see if frozen fruit also has the same benefits, because frozen fruits are picked at peak freshness, and they're flash frozen, and they're delicious, and they're super convenient, and they're really easy to eat. Like, there's so many benefits, and they still look like fruit. But when we ran our own study specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause, trying to help them lose weight in the easiest possible way, it did not work the way I thought it would. This is why we do tests. We thought that frozen fruit would be as good as fresh fruit, and that was not the case. Either the women having the frozen fruit hit a weight loss plateau, or they were just ravenously hungry. I don't know what the heck happened with frozen fruit. I don't know what is the changing of the composition of it, the fact that it's frozen, you have to thaw it out, and it's kind of processing it that way. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter either. What matters is that we found what works. And when women join my program, they are guaranteed to see the results they want to see physically, mentally, and emotionally. And in order to have that guarantee, we need to make sure we only do what works. Because if women join our program and follow our guidance and it doesn't work, they get a full refund, plus I pay them an additional $2,000 cash back on top of the full refund if our guidance doesn't work. So we need it to work. And we found that frozen fruit just did not work. That was super surprising. I had no idea that that would happen. Fresh fruit is king for helping women lose weight. And why that is, I don't know. But that being said, you always want to test it for yourself. The only way that you should be making decisions for your health is by making data-driven decisions. You have to look at your data in order to decide what works for you. How are you going to be able to decide if frozen fruit or fresh fruit is good? Is by testing it. Test it for yourself, and then you will see. You can see like my reels, you can see the stuff, all the free stuff I give away. I'm just sharing specific things that have worked for different women in my program. And the thing is, I've worked with thousands of women. So Abram has thousands of different things that'll work. But the thing is that you have to find out what works for you specifically. I've been running my program for a long time. I have never had two women with the same solution. Ever. Not all women eat one meal a day. Not all women eat 6 meals a day. Not all women have high protein. Not all women have low protein. You know, there's only very general things that I've seen. Like the fact that whole fruits melt body fat faster than anything for women. Protein shakes have never been added to a woman's diet to help her lose weight, which is why I try to rail against them, because those are things I've never seen work. I've never seen someone unable to lose weight and the solution was liquid calories. You know, it's just never been there. I've never had a woman that was struggling with her A1C and then didn't see an improvement by adding more whole fruits to her diet. Like, if you want to melt body fat, you permanently cure that insulin resistance because you get rid of the cell that has the insulin resistance. Your body will literally release less insulin, and it will control your blood sugar better if you have the right whole fruits. Obviously, you can't eat all whole fruits. You just have to eat the right ones. But, Kimberly, you have to test it for yourself. I was listening to your book, and I was... Oh, I lost the link. Oh, crap. I wish I could send you the link. So I'm a published author. You can just find my book for free. I put it on my YouTube channel. If you want to listen to my audiobook, it's called Healthy Weight Without Willpower. And then you can type in Abram Anderson, Healthy Weight Without Willpower into YouTube, and you'll be able to find it, hopefully. I am a published author, though, so I'm only going to keep it up until the publisher finds out that I'm giving it away for free. And then once they yell at me, I'll take it off, or they'll do like a cease and desist or whatever, because the publisher's supposed to make money, but we'll just keep this between us, like, don't tell anyone. Don't tell Audible that, that it's no longer an exclusive. But just type in my name into YouTube, Abram Anderson, Healthy Weight Without Willpower, and you'll be able to find it. How to lose weight with Hashimoto's? Great question. So women that have Hashimoto's, they'll end up with something called hypothyroidism, which is when your thyroid is not producing what it should be producing. Your thyroid is what controls your metabolism, so it's really, really important to have a healthy metabolism. So women with Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, they tend to gain more weight because their metabolism sucks. It's essentially like an autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid, so which ends up with hypothyroidism. So this is super, super, super common with women. What we've seen work the best is having a wide variety of colors and shades of fruits and vegetables in your diet. Ideally 7 per day and 21 in the week. The easiest way we found to do this for specifically women that have hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's is you actually want to take 7 different colors of vegetables plus 1 spicy pepper, and you want to blend that in a blender with enough water to let it blend. And then after it's turned into like this pureed thing, you're going to put it in an ice cube tray and you're going to freeze it. And then you're going to take out 1 ice cube and you're going to like melt it on top of your food, or just melt it in a cup and then pour it on your food. That way you get a lot of variety for your microbiome, and it's the easiest for your microbiome to digest. The reason why this is important is because it starts to physically change your cravings. Women that have problems with their metabolism or hypothyroidism, is their cravings are just freaking crazy. Like they're nuts. Like they eat sugar and they gain 3 pounds. They like freaking love it. Like they start eating, they feel like they can't stop. This is the most effective way that I've seen it out of all the different things I've done, is to physically blend it. I probably have a video for it. If not, I'll just recreate the video today. I post like 5 or 6 times a day. I know it's hard to find stuff on my profile because I'm so prolific with giving out content because I freaking love this stuff. I'll just remake the video on how you can rapidly reset your gut microbiome if you have Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, or if you have a problem with insulin and you want to melt body fat really fast. We've had clients just melt their body fat when they've tried it. But that being said, you might be able to do it just by having a wider variety of colors and shades in your diet. Next question. Let's see here. Oh, geez. All right, next question. How do you go about introducing fiber from anti-obesity fruits and vegetables if you're not used to having a lot of fiber and it gives you digestional issues? Great question, Tracy. This is very, very common with women. The reason why it is really common for women to have issues with their digestive system is because of your ability to take on stress. So women, on average, will take on about 3 times more cortisol than a guy does. Like if guys have too much cortisol, they either start physically fighting someone or they have a heart attack. I don't want to do either. I'm not going to be throwing haymakers and then going, ah! So if you don't feel like physically fighting someone or having a heart attack, what happens with women is they just have a crap load of cortisol, and then that just makes them really fat. The reason this happens is because they are not getting into rest and digest. If your fight or flight is chronically high, like stress hormones are chronically high, then it prevents you from getting into rest and digest. Cortisol by itself reduces inflammation. Too much cortisol will shut down your digestive tract and make it so your digestive system doesn't work as well. If your digestive system is off a little bit, you're going to constantly have a little bit of inflammation. If you have a lot of stress, you constantly have a lot of inflammation. Why? Because your digestive system will slow down to the point where you end up with a condition known as leaky gut. Leaky gut leads to permeability in the epithelial lining of your intestines, in which case undigested food particles will leak out into your bloodstream, causing systemic inflammation. That was a lot of words to say that if you're stressed, it can make you constipated, even mildly constipated. You have very hard poop. It's like rabbit turds, or you just don't poop at all. You're not pooping every day. And that leads to inflammation. That inflammation makes it really freaking hard to lose weight. And the number one cure for that, in order to get that inflammation out of your body, is to have something called long strand fiber in your diet. This is also called thick strand fiber. These are basically fibers where you cut them open and they look the same on the inside as the outside. And these are the number one thing you could have, because when you put that into your digestive tract, your intestines will actually secrete a mucus. It's called chyme. It's essentially like water that is going to push out and it's going to mix with that dietary fiber. And it's going to slide it out of your system. But in that whooshing effect, in that secretion of that mucus, it is going to cure all of that leaky gut problem. It's going to seal it back up. So basically by eating this, the healthier diet of these thicker fiber vegetables and fruits, what will happen is you get to cure that inflammation at the source, which is the gut. And that can help you lose weight. So you already know you already have inflammatory problems if you're eating a little bit and gaining a lot of weight. You don't eat, 1 bite of rice and gain 2 pounds. Like 1 bite of rice does not equal, 7,000 calories. So obviously it's not calories in, calories out. It's cellular fire or inflammation that is going on. So how do you fix that? You want to have these thick fiber vegetables and fruits. The ones where you cut them open, they look the same on the inside as the outside. So I'll give you some examples. Like the pulp in oranges. like that white stringy stuff. If you cut that open, it looks the same on the inside as the outside. Cabbage, Napa cabbage is a good example. Carrots are a good example. Kimchi, sauerkraut, probiotics can help like that, as long as it says probiotic on the label. And those are thicker fiber vegetables and fruits. Would be another example. You could do onions. You could do garlic. You could do... there's so many. There's like 1 million different ones. You could do bok choy. You could do celery. You could do blueberries. You could do a million. There's so many. There's literally so many. Just imagine you take something, you cut it open. It looks the same on the inside as the outside. I actually have a soup you could have, an anti-inflammatory soup. It's on my profile. It walks you exactly how to do this for an anti-inflammatory protocol. You just have to click my name and look for it. I'm sorry I post so much. I would love to just send it to you. But when you have this and you're introducing it, the goal is to introduce it as a percentage of your plate. And then remember we talked about before, the goal to lose belly fat is just to slowly increase that amount. So you start with these foods as a percentage of your meal, and then you slowly increase it as you have more. But you specifically want to make sure that you're drinking water before you have it, because if you don't have water with dietary fiber, then that normal whooshing effect where that water would go into your intestines, if you don't have the water, you're going to get gas, bloating, indigestion, all of the bad things. So that's why it's so important, and why it's so well researched that you should always drink water before your meals. No exceptions. Always drink water before your meals, because it's easily the best thing you could do to improve your digestion. And I don't know where that myth came from that you shouldn't drink water. That is the most bizarre thing. I just imagine people like dry scooping their stuff, like eating meals going, like trying to eat. I don't know, like their face is turning purple while they're eating. It doesn't even make sense. We've been drinking water with our meals forever, literally forever. Anyway, it doesn't dilute your stomach acid. It improves your digestion. It makes dietary fiber more effective, and that is what creates anti-obesity effects. So always drink water before your meals. I can't think of a single reason why you would ever not want to, unless you had like even if you had gastric bypass, because then you really don't want to have any liquid calories. You could still take a sip of water before then. You'd still be fine. It would still be better than not having it, because it's a ratio of what you're having. So those are the questions that I have here. Remember, I got all of these from my 100% free group called Becoming Happier, Healthier, and More Hormonally Balanced. I will put the link somewhere here. It's already there. Great. Click that link. Go to it. Or follow me. Or message me that you want to join the group. And I can send you an invite to the group. Or just leave a comment down below. Say me, M-E. And I could invite you to join. I wouldn't even have to comment back because I can't respond to comments. I would love to, but I can't. I can't even see the comments that are here. If anyone's leaving a comment, I literally can't see it. So I'm sorry my Facebook is horribly restricted. I try to help where I can. My Instagram is also restricted. I just can't respond to thousands of people at a time. But I do eventually. If you send me a direct message first, I could send you everything. So leave a comment saying me, and I can invite you to the free group. And you can leave your questions there if you want your questions answered on future live streams. I hope this was helpful. I love you all, and thanks for watching.